morning, sports fans, and welcome as we close out the first week of the new year with another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas Daily Free Winning Show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, Sports Memo. Guys, we're closing out the week with an amazing panel. It's a good-looking bunch and one of the sharpest bunches we've ever had the honor of working with. Let me go around the horn. Chris Thurston, Ross Benjamin, Rocky Atkinson. Chris, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Joe, I'm doing great. Happy New Year to you guys and everybody watching. I'm doing well. Closed out the year strong in the semifinals and Penn State in the Rose Bowl that I gave out on this show last week. So I'm doing awesome and ready to continue.
Well, we're happy to have you back here, our first show with you in the new year. I'm going to go to my good buddy Ross Benjamin. Ross, you and I do more shows together than a couple trying to break into the adult film business. I love you, Ross. How are you today, buddy?
I love you too, buddy. Always a good day when I could talk to you, a first ballot Hall of Famer like yourself. Here's my question to you. What's the dilemma of the day? Because every time I talk to you, there's a dilemma, Joey.
Well, I got to tell you, I like everybody on the show and everybody out there, and I love my wife and my dogs. But I got to tell you, as we started the new year, I like even less people than last year. And there wasn't too many people I liked last year. So I'm a little sour on humankind right now, I'll tell you that. But we got some fun stuff we're doing today. We're going to tell you about in a second. Ross, my good buddy, they call him the Southern Assassin. Rocky Atkinson, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good, Joe. Glad to be back on the show this morning, and Happy New Year to everybody. Glad to be back.
Happy New Year. I'll always have you. Well, a couple of nice things we like to say. Open up the paper today, and, the tragedy that occurred Monday night, the reports show that he is speaking, he is talking, he's more cognizant, and optimistic.
He's breathing on his own too, Joe.
Yeah,
big stuff.
That's a big thing right there.
Guys, we're in sports and sports betting. We're all sports fans one way or another, and we all want to win our bets, but no one ever wants to see anybody hurt. And our thoughts, our prayers, our positive vibes go out to Devin Hamlin.
And it's amazing that you see some people chiming in and trying to blame T. Higgins or it's a football play, man. It's not his fault. I mean, come on. And then people complaining about they had Cincinnati or they had Buffalo and it affected their fantasy thing. Show some sensitivity, man. We're all human beings here.
Ross, we talked about the other day. You said, what's the big dilemma today? Self-respect.
Yeah.
If I have respect for myself, that means I'm automatically respecting people around me as well. And it just seems that a lot of people don't have their priorities straight. Let me tell you, Ross, I've talked about this many times on this show, and people say, well, what do you attribute to? I attribute it to, Chris, I know this is probably the first time you're hearing it from me, participation trophies 25, 30 years ago. Every kid got in Little League. They got a trophy for 14th place, and they felt they were entitled to everything in the world, and that their actions had no repercussions. They should show up and get a trophy. Well, when I was a kid, and I finished, and I had one football team, I got to tell you, I'm not tuned, but I became an all-state quarterback, all-state baseball player, a champion boxer, karate expert. But I will tell you this. I had a football team that finished, we were 1-11. We were horrible. And then the following year, we worked so hard. We took the entire league by storm. We didn't lose a game. We worked our asses off. And I was an MVP that year. And the following year, I worked my ass off to become MVP. And that's what it is. Now, when you work hard, good things happen. Opportunities and avenues are open to you. When you feel that things should be just given to you, well,
yeah. Let me just say this. We need more guys like Rocky, because I follow his Facebook posts sometime. He coaches, I'm not sure the age group, Rocky, but he coaches all-star teams in his area there in South Carolina, and they consistently seems like you guys advance to like the regionals and stuff like that. So you need more guys like him. I mean, where you're encouraging kids who are very good at what they do to carry themselves further. And I know damn well, and you do too, Joey, that he cares about those kids, not just their performance on the field
You've seen
itself.
his face light up while you were talking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's true. I mean,
Well,
I admire guys like that, you know, because that takes a lot of patience in this day and age trying to control 13. What is it, Rock? 13 to 15 or?
It's usually 12 and all-stars.
Yeah. So you have to have a ton of patience, right, Joey, for
and
kids
not
that
just
age?
that, Ross, but knowing Rocky, I got to tell you, you know, you're the effect you, because the most precious resource we have in this world are our youth.
Yeah.
And making a future for them. And I got to tell you, he definitely, knowing him, because he has made me a better human being. And I'm already ruined, to be honest with you. So if he can guide the future of our country and change a few of those kids for the better, I know him. He's definitely changed them all for the better. Probably knowing him, because he's all heart, Rocky. So Rocky, you're right. Ross, great way to bring that up. Rocky, we love you, and you know,
I mean it sincerely, you know. So
appreciate us.
Yep.
But I will tell you, I think a lot of it has to do with participation trophies, where kids can sue their parents. There's a big difference, guys, between abuse and what? Discipline. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong with discipline. My son is a United States Marine. When he was about 16, he got taller and bigger than me. Ain't the toughest thing to do. I'm 5'7". And once he got froggy with me. About 20 minutes later, when he woke up, he said, "Why is my side hurt?" I said, "Because when you were down, I gave you a little kick." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm your father. I love you more than anything in the world, and I would kill or die for you. You don't ever get froggy with me. I'm always going to protect and love you and do what's best for you. You may not always agree with it, and there are times I go into the other room and I cry. I cry because I have to discipline you, because I feel bad that you feel bad. But I have to teach you that your actions have reprisals and repercussions. And people just don't have and that's how people, it's respect. It's respect for people. It's please and thank you. It's yes, sir, and no, sir. It's holding a door. It's just having common courtesy and decency for this world we live in. And I got to tell you, a lot of people don't have that.
Well, a lot of good came out of that Damar Hamlin situation between prayer and people getting united. And I wish the world would all act like that under all circumstances, but I know that's a hard ask and it's not going to happen. But sure, it's surely at the end result is he's breathing on his own. He's on the road to recovery. That's great news for all of us, including him and his family. But I just wish we would show more compassion in that kind of thing across the world. But hey, it is what it is.
Ross,
let's get on to sports betting.
Yes, we are. But real quick, I had somebody ask me very say something very recently. Say, "Hey, you're opinionated." Yeah, I'm opinionated. And I got to tell you though, even at my stage in life, I don't care who you want to kiss. I don't care what color, who you vote for. I don't care whatever. I mean, I could start an argument in the Vatican probably. I care if you're a jerk, and that's all I care about. That's it. And you know what? Having said that, we're here to sports bet. But once again, our thoughts and prayers are with that young man and his family. Having said that, guys, we're going after the show to AVN. For those of you who don't know what it is, that's the Adult Video News Expo, Convention, and Award Ceremony.
So much for prayer.
No, so much for prayer. I got to tell you, it is a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think that, you know, it's one thing. It's not a Roman orgy, I'll tell you that. It's just fun. And this is, a lot of people are good. So we're going to go and see some of our friends who hit us up the last few days. Hey, we're in town. So we're going to go see. We'll put some pictures up. I'm going to tag Ross in a couple of pictures. But no. But we are, you know what? On a good note, I'm going to tell you, we're VIPs. And with every VIP pass, upon entrance, you get a free penicillin shot. So having said that, Dionne's got some discounts. We got some free winners for you. Dionne, take it away.
Yeah, so the $2 Tuesday cappers over at Sports Memo are still available. You can get Dan Kaiser, the Insider's Room, and Tim Michael. You can get them each for $2, or the best deal is get all three for just the low price of $5. We also do have Ring In 2023 with us. You can get up to 84 free days. All you do is go over to both Sports Memo and Wager Talk. Go to your favorite handicapper and hit on that. You can get 30 on any package, 30 days or longer. You can get up to 84 days absolutely free. We want to give you 23% more back on all passes over 30 days or more. And the great folks over at Sports Memo also still do have that amazing discount going on for me and Joey. You can get a 7-day all sports, all access for just $59. All you have to do is use code FAMILY7 upon checkout.
All right. Without any further ado, guys, I want to start with my good friend Ross Benjamin. You know, I repeat myself, but it doesn't make it any less true. You do something once, you do it twice, you're lucky. Do it year in, year out, you're pretty damn good. Do that year in, year out for decades. There's only a few in the history of this business, and one of those few is the chairman of the board himself, Ross Benjamin. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side of Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Ross Benjamin, take it away.
As always, Joey, I feel the same way about you, and thank you for that introduction. You're too kind. We're going to be looking at the Miami and Phoenix game that goes tonight, and it opened at 216.5, and it's down to 214.5 in my estimation for good reason. Phoenix has seen each of their previous 3 games go under the total, and there's been a combined score of just 193.3 points scored per contest during those 3 unders. And those of you who follow the NBA and know in this modern era, that's an extremely low average. Additionally, the Suns have scored 104 points or fewer in each of their last 4 games. Phoenix has played 9-1 to the under this year when there's a total of 210 to 219.5. And those games average just a combined 201 points scored per game. They're going to be facing a Miami team that has played 13-7 to the under on the road this season. So 65% of the road games have gone under the total. And Joey, both teams should have tired legs in this game. The reason I say that, Phoenix will be playing on 1-day rest after completing a 6-game and 10-day road trip, while the Suns will be playing their, I believe, 5th game in 8 days. So both teams, and when you have tired legs, my theory is always look to play the under, because tired legs usually correspond with poor shooting. Not all the time, but more times than not, in my experience. So again, I'm going to go under the total here, Joey, of 214.5. And just a reminder to all of your folks out there, my NBA last night, I had my NBA game of the night on the Boston Celtics. -3 at Dallas. I told everybody, look, Dallas is on a 7-game win streak, and Boston has been flailing of late. This line seemed awful suspicious to me, and lo and behold, the Celtics walked away with a 124-95 win. That makes me now, since December 26th, I'm now 18-11 in all sports, 62.1%. Also, folks, coming off a 12-4-1 bowl season, I will have the side in total in the college football championship game next Monday night. That'll be up within the next day or two. And what am I missing, Joe? Probably not much. So again, the under in the Miami and Phoenix game, under 214.
Heat Suns under 214, says the chairman of the board, Ross Benjamin. He told you those numbers. Numbers don't lie. You know, even if you're doing those numbers just for a month or two, it's very impressive in this business. How about a season or two? How about a year or two? How about a decade or two?
You know what they say about numbers, Joey?
What's that?
They don't lie, and liars don't figure.
That's right. And I like my wife's figure, just to keep that record. Now, having said that, guys,
I hope so.
Ross Benjamin is the perfect capper to follow for one of these long-term discounted programs over at Sports Memo. After the show, go to Sports Memo, follow Ross. You're going to follow him to the back. Now, Ross, I know he likes to get his lines and his games up on the premium area on Sports Memo about this time on the day, because he wants the lines to subside and whatnot. So he's going to take off. He's going to go put some more winners up over at Sports Memo. Guys, I want you to know, go follow him after the show. And Ross, we really did have a lot of fun this morning, as we always do. And you know what? You're, of course, as a capper, it's, you know, you're unrivaled. But as a person, we always feel your loving heart, and we appreciate you being here with us, closing out the first week of the first family show of the new year.
Thank you so much. I don't know about unrivaled, because there's a lot of great handicappers at Sports Memo, but your gesture is deeply appreciated, my friend. You guys all have a great day, man, and knock them dead this weekend.
God bless you. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
There you go. Guys, you know, one champ to another. You know, one of the sweetest people that I know ever, that I've had the good honor and the good fortune to call a friend, is Rocky Atkinson. Now, Rocky and I have been friends for many, many years. And I want you to know, even before I became Rocky's friends, I respected him because he is one of the best in this business. He's not as loud as I am. That's an understatement. But his numbers don't lie, as Ross and I were just talking about. And some of the best numbers in the history of this business are possessed by Rocky Atkinson. Rocky's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side of Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Rocky, take it away.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, the respect's mutual, buddy. No doubt about that. As far as premium for tonight, I do have 2 NHL plays loaded for this evening here on Friday. Over the past 27 years, I've been one of the best hockey cappers they are out there. I do have the national championship side winner up for Monday night. And hopefully we'll have some more basketball action on the weekend. I am going to pass in the NFL this week, in the last week of the season. So it's going to leave me at 57% this year in the NFL regular season after hitting 70% last year with all my NFL picks. So a down year for me, still a winning year, small winning year for us. And hopefully we'll find something in the playoffs the following week. But the game I'm looking at here for this show is the game I like the most this weekend. I wanted to give it out here for free to all our viewers here this morning. I'm looking at Detroit at Green Bay. Both teams come in with identical 8-8 straight up overall records on the season. Green Bay has come on strong lately, winning 4 in a row to get themselves back into the playoff hunt heading into this weekend. It's down to Detroit, Green Bay, and Seattle left for the last spot in the NFC. It's pretty simple. If Green Bay wins, they're in. Aaron Rodgers, he started playing a lot better. While I thought Green Bay would make a run, like I said a few shows back, I didn't think they would be in this position. I thought the Dolphins would beat them. Also, you have to give the Lions credit. They started off the season 1-6. They're now 8-8. Incredible job by head coach Dan Campbell and his coaching staff. But I've got to go with a seasoned veteran here in Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And although Rodgers hasn't looked good at times, he's found a way to win here down the stretch to put his team in position to make the playoffs this year. They're playing in Lambeau with the season on the line. I think they're going to step up yet again and send a very good Lions team home. The Detroit Lions defense is ranked last in the league in total yards, allowing 398.7 yards per game. They're 30th against the pass, allowing 249.4 yards per game. 29th against the rush, allowing 149.3 yards per game on the ground. They're 29th in the league in points allowed per game at 25.7. Green Bay's 4-0 straight up and against the spread this year after playing a division game. They're 13-6 against the spread the last 19 games after an ATS win. And the home team is 6-0 against the spread the last 6 meetings in this series. I'm going to play Green Bay minus the points over Detroit this weekend.
The Packers minus the points, says Rocky Atkinson. Guys, 57% is good enough to make him one of the best cappers on the planet once again this NFL season, but it just doesn't stop there for Rocky. College football, college basketball, pro basketball, baseball. Guys, numbers don't lie, and I got to tell you, he's one of the best in the history of this business. Rocky, you going to stick around for a couple more minutes? You got to take off.
I'm hanging out.
Rocky's going to stick around, but guys, I want you to know, after this show, we've got the best customer appreciation discounts on the planet in this business. Go to Sportsman on the show. Follow Rocky, but I got to tell you, you're going to be wanted. You're going to be a wanted man because you're going to be killing bookmakers if you follow him. Now, if you missed any portion of the show, don't worry. We're going to run down all the free plays and the discounts again. I want to talk about my good friend Chris, man. Chris Thurston, you guys know him as CT Bets, CT Game Day. He's all over the place, does some great content with some of the best and most well-known and well-respected people in the business. And, you know, I know he doesn't sell plays, but he does a lot of work with Wager Talk, does a lot of work on his own. He's going to tell you about it in a second. But, you know, he's one of the most respected, one of the sharpest minds in sports betting today. And I got to tell you, man, yeah, since we started BSing with each other about doing the shows and whatnot, he'll hit me up a couple times here and there and say, hey, I like this tonight, I like that tonight. What do you got? Great guy, great. And I got to tell you, I don't think he's been wrong yet. I know he started last week on the show. Big winner, Penn State. I know everybody's interested to see what he's got to say today and go into the weekend with another big winner. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to sit down with pen to paper to listen to him because I said he's one of the sharpest minds in sports betting today. Chris Thurston, he's going to tell you where you can find all his information, and he's got a free winner for you, another free winner. Take it away, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. The feeling's mutual. Love being on this show, talking to you all the time. It's much appreciated being here. You can follow me on Twitter at CTBets16. I do a Sports Map Radio gambling show every Tuesday, Sports Map Radio, 8 to 10 p.m. Also do the Hustle Show Pod with Kelly Stewart, Kelly in Vegas, Joe Ranieri, Drew Martin, Adam Trigger every Wednesday night. Wager Talk TV, 6 o'clock Eastern time. You could catch me there, and then you catch me every Friday here. Love hanging out with you guys, and like Joe said, gave out Penn State last week on the show. +2 closes -2.5. Second half, Penn State just thrashes Utah. And if you follow me on Twitter, you cash both of the semifinals in college football as well. I was on both of the dogs and told you to sprinkle a little bit on both of the money lines there. Ohio State almost got there. Here we are. It's the national championship, Joe, and that's what I'm going to give out for my best bet. And who would have thought we'd see TCU here, right? They were 200 to 1 at some places to win it all back in August. And I've given praise week in and week out for what Sonny Dykes has done in his first year with this Frogs team. And Triggerman Max Duggan, who didn't even start the year, he's been absolutely outstanding. But I'm here to tell you the fairy tale story does unfortunately come to an end Monday night in the Natty. And I actually think it gets out of hand as well. This is turning into your Joe's versus pros game. The public money has been rolling in on the Frogs. They're betting them every which way. Money line, spread. Even Mattress Mac decided to get involved with a small $1.5 million money line bet on the Frogs. As great of a job Sonny Dykes has done, well, on the other side, you got Kirby Smart. He's been pretty brilliant as well. I don't know if you guys saw that timeout he called in the semifinals and sniffing that fake punt out will probably go down as the best timeout in college football history. And I'm going to put my money behind Kirby Smart and Stetson Bennett, the trigger man, Monday night. Stetson Bennett, 28-3 for the Dogs as a trigger man. And the Dogs are going to be looking to become the first team to repeat as Natty champs in 9 years. And yes, I know the Dogs D didn't look like the normal Dogs D we're used to seeing all season long the last 2 weeks, which is still, by the way, the top-ranked red zone defense. Ohio State, give them a ton of credit in the world. They threw everything in the kitchen sink at the Dogs, and I don't think the Dogs expected it. I think the Dogs expected to kind of walk in there and kind of waltz right into the national championship, and for 3 quarters, they got outplayed. Now Kirby Smart and the Dogs have over a week to prepare for this game. I think this game, you're going to see exactly how the Sugar Bowl played out when Alabama just absolutely throttled Kansas State. SEC greater than the Big 12, and I'm a Big 12 guy. We're going to see that in a big way on Monday. Joe, the Dogs blast TCU on Monday night. And the Dogs -12, -12.5.
Chris Thurston, you know him as CT Bets, says the Cinderella story ends here on Monday as TCU's carriage will turn back into a pumpkin. He's a winner. He's going to stick around for a few minutes, and we're gonna ask him again later on. So just in case you missed it, where you can find all his information, all his free stuff, all his shows. There's a show with Joe Ranieri, with Kelly, with my good buddy Adam Trigger. He's going to stick around. Rocky did have to take off. He wants to get. He said some lines moved. He hit me in private chat. Some lines moved. He wants to do his due diligence. He may have a play for you today. He doesn't know yet. Either way, guys. Everywhere Chris Thurston is, I'm going to tell you, winning follows. I will tell you. Chris, you're going to stick around a couple of minutes?
Yep, absolutely, Joe.
Great stuff, great stuff, great stuff. Speaking of winners, you don't need any more proof that she married me 22 years ago. Dionne D'Amico, the first lady of Las Vegas. I got to tell you, man, I say it all the time because it always astounds me. This is a boys' club, sports betting. It really has been. It's always been that way since the late 70s when really you start seeing Jim Feist and some of the other big names come about. Late 70s, 80s, 90s, boom, boom, boom. It's always been a boys' club. You know, and you're seeing more and more. Chris's good friend Kelly Stewart. I know, go back with her over a dozen years. We're friends with Kelly, Ariel. Some of the other people in this business that are making influence are women. One of those women who kicked down the door. She didn't knock. She kicked that damn door down as the first lady in Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico. Her first year last year as a professional capper, finished number 2 in college football on every other sport leaderboard she contributed to at Sports Memo. This year, oh my goodness, college football, pro football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, and WNBA, right there at the top or just underneath it on the leaderboard at Sports Memo. She's going to tell you what she's been doing. She's going to tell you what you can expect from her on the premium side of Sports Memo. And she's got another free winner for you. Take it away, Dee.
Thank you. Right now, I am the number 2 capper the last 7 days in college basketball over at Sports Memo. Today, I have isolated just one big winner on the board for you today, my NCAA basketball slam dunk winner. It's posted right now over at Sports Memo for just $10. Or the best deal is go ahead and head on over there and get that 7-day all sports, all access for just $59 for either myself or Joe. And you can get that $59. All you have to do is use code FAMILY7 upon checkout. And all of my football plays will be up later by this evening or early tomorrow morning. So make sure you head back to the site and pick those up. And for my free play today, I'm going to go to the Ivy League in college basketball. I remember the only games Friday that you could bet on in college basketball was on Ivy League. And let me tell you, there is money to be made in those games. Dartmouth has been one of the worst teams in college basketball this season at 4-11. The Big Green have lost 6 straight games and have failed to cover the spread in 4 of those 6. During that 6-game slide, the total has gone under in all 6 of those. And when Dartmouth goes on the road, the under is 5-0 in the last 5. Yale, on the other hand, despite a 62-60 loss at Columbia, has been playing better ball than Dartmouth, going 10-4 on the season. In the Bulldogs' last 9 games, the total has gone under in 6 of those. And when playing at home, the under is 4-0 in Yale's last 4. You can expect this game to go under the total as the Big Green will have problems putting up points against one of the Ivy League's best defensive team that is allowing opponents to score only a mere 56.9 points per game. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this matchup tonight.
First Lady of Vegas is take the under in the Big Green Bulldogs Ivy League matchup. That's funny. So I sometimes forget that you remember when it was just only Ivy League on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you guys out there, when back in the day, when we were here in Vegas, we're still here in Vegas, Friday nights usually had a large slate of NBA, a bunch of Ivy League games. They would usually throw some weird conference in there and maybe one Pac-12 game or Pac-10. Back then it was the Pac-10 or whatever. Well, you know what I meant. You know what I mean, guys? I'm getting old at this. One of the Pac games. And, and it was usually slim pickings. It really was. And you're, I got about the Ivy League.
But there's money to be made in those games.
Absolutely. There's gold in them, Dar Hills. She's a winner. Follow Dionne. You got that 7-day all sports for Dionne. And right now, how many sports you doing? I know college football's ending, but you're going to have the college football national championship.
I will have the national championship.
One sport.
I also have
NFL,
NBA, NCAA basketball, and hockey.
5 sports right now. 59. I might buy that because she doesn't tell me who the hell she likes anymore. Follow Dionne. You're going to follow her to the bank. Now I'm going to take over the reins real quick. Then we're going to bring Chris back in a second. We're going to run down all the free plays, run down the discounts, tell you where you can find Chris. We're going to tell you where you can find. We're going to tell you what Ross had, what Rocky had. They had to take off. They wanted to put up some more plays. So bear with me, guys. It's the last show I'm doing for the first week of the new year, and I am excited to be here with everybody, guys. Being selective has once again paid off for us this NBA campaign. Tonight, I'm excited to announce I have one of my strongest pro basketball releases yet this season in my coveted NBA Las Vegas strip move play. They're over 66% this season alone. And when all of my Vegas odds making, sportsbook, and sports betting sources come in with the same team as my analysts and I, it becomes a Las Vegas strip move play, guys. Just because they're winning, I'm not going to gouge you on the price. I got to post that sports one right now for $10. And the best big game hunter on the planet is as reliable as death and taxes. I'll tell you that. My friend Saturday in the NFL, I have my AFC South game of the month. It doesn't get any bigger or better than this. Join me and together we're going to kill the Bucks. I post that one for $20. And it doesn't end there. Guys, I got more. Oh, my God. The highest rated play. Wow. I put out a 5% play on a national title game winner for just $25 SportsFence as the most acclaimed college football handicapper sports bettor in the history of this business. I will finish up the college football campaign for you with a big one and the Natty played on Monday, January 9th. The last 17 years, I am documented 15-2 in the Natty. I dropped last year's, and obviously going 15-1 before that. I've never dropped back-to-back national champions. I'm not going to do it now, guys. 5% play. I posted it for just $15. Not going to gouge you guys. Now, I want to do now. I had a couple of nice winners that I think I pooped the bed yesterday in a free play, right? I think I pooped the bed. Very technical term in sports betting. I pooped the bed.
To be honest with you, I don't even remember who you had.
But I've got something today I want to make everybody aware of. I want to go to college basketball realm in a game that arguably is the biggest matchup on the board tonight. Yes, folks, I'm talking about the Pac-12 matchup between the Stanford Cardinal and the California Golden Bears. My friends, is it me, or did it seem like it took forever for Cal to actually get their first victory of the season? It took the Golden Bears until their 13th outing of the season to notch their first win. Showing signs of life. Excuse me, they have won 2 of their last 3 straight up and 3 of their last 4 against the number now. As a matter of fact, on New Year's Eve, the last time they took the court, they took down Colorado 80-76 at home as a 10.5-point underdog. The Buffaloes, meanwhile, are a team that just a few nights before, took down the Cardinal on their own home court 73-70. Speaking of Stanford, let's go to them. They have now dropped their last 2 games to Colorado and Utah, I just mentioned, both as a favorite, losing outright. I'm going to tell you right now, they're being overvalued here again tonight, my friends. Stanford has very little offensively. They really don't. They're hitting just 30% from downtown and an overall 43% from the floor, accounting for a dismal 68.1 points per game. Guys, Cal's offense isn't too much better. As a matter of fact, statistically, they're ranked even worse, but they're showing signs of life, my friends, and that is very big here. But I just don't see the Cardinal laying this many points against the Golden Bears team that has begun to show signs of life, like I just mentioned over the last few weeks. As of this show, Devin Askew, who is without question the best player on the floor tonight, he's questionable. He did sit out the last game against Colorado, but they beat Colorado. They can win without him. Early reports are that the stand-up player is most likely playing. Either way, the underdog has covered 10 of the last 14 meetings of this rivalry. Way too many points. I don't see the Cardinal covering this at all. I think Cal can even upend them. I'll be honest with you. Take the points with the Golden Bears. Let me bring my good friend Chris back. Let's see. Let me see. Ross took off. Rocky took off. We're going to run down their free plays. Let me get some closing thoughts and comments first from Chris. Chris, what do you want to leave everybody out there with on the final show, Sports Memo TV, for the first week of the new year? Tell everybody what you want them to know.
Yeah, it's been great being on this show, Joe. Again, I appreciate it and love how we become close. And, shooting stuff off of each other's brains always helps. So appreciate that. Go follow me at CTBets16. I give everything for free out there. Sports Map Radio every Tuesday nights, 8 to 10, have a gambling show there. And then the Hustle Show Pod at Hustle Show Pod. Kelly Stewart, Kelly in Vegas, Joe Ranieri, Drew Martin Betts, Adam Trigger, and myself every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. We have a really good time, have some laughs, and give some good information. So looking forward to week 18 and right into the national championship on Monday, and then we're wild card weekend. So looking on to rip off some winners here, Joe, and start 2023 on a high note.
Great stuff. We're honored to have you here. Now, I know Chris is going to do his best to be on our First Family Show every Friday. I know here and there he's going to be doing some traveling. He may not be able to make it, but trust me, on those weeks, we're going to try to get him earlier on in the week to be on the First Family Show because I know you want him as much as we want him here. Having said that, Dionne, we got a couple of discounts we want to tell everybody about. Then we're going to run down everybody's free plays in time enough for you to get down on the free content. So, Dionne, tell everybody what we got going on.
Yeah, so the $2 Tuesday featured cappers are still available. You can get Dan Kaiser, the Insiders Room, and Tim Michael for $2 a piece over at Sports Memo. Or the best deal is you can get all 3 for just $5. We also do want you to ring in 2023 with us, where you can get up to 84 days absolutely free. We want to give you 23% more back on all sports, all access passes of 30 days or longer. All you have to do is head on over to Sports Memo or Wager Talk, go to your favorite handicapper, and scroll down, and you will find those discounts. And that one there will be expiring on January 9th. And also the great folks over at Sports Memo have a great deal for myself and Joe. You can get a 7-day all sports, all access pass for just $59. All you have to do is use code FAMILY7 upon checkout.
Is your mirror hot in here?
It is.
Oh my God! It's so hot in here. I looked over. It's the devil fanning himself. Mine's getting hot in here. It's starting to warm up in Vegas. You know, it's 60 degrees every day. It's getting hot in here. We got a lot of light in this house from the front yard to the backyard. I'm sweating like a hooker in church. I'll tell you that. All right, guys, let's run down the free plays. My good buddy Ross Benjamin doing some great work over stuff. He says tonight the Heat Suns under 214 is the winner. The Southern Assassin, Rocky Atkinson, who's 70+% 2 years ago in the NFL. Last year, 70+%. Right now, he's very disappointed with 57%. Guys, 57% makes you a lot of money and brings you as a top capper on any website on the planet. He said he's staying away from the NFL in the final week of the regular season. But the game he likes the most is the Pack. He's going with Aaron Rodgers' experience, the seasoned veteran. Chris, what'd you have for everybody out there?
I'm going with the national championship, and that goes Monday night. And I'm like the Georgia Bulldogs to rock and roll over the TCU Horned Frogs. The fairy tale story ends Monday night, Joe.
He says, let me tell you, if you lose your shoe at midnight, you're not Cinderella. You're probably drunk. That's what he said. Dionne, what'd you have for everybody, darling?
I'm going to go with Dartmouth, Yale, under the 129.5 tonight.
I made myself snort. I'm sorry, guys. And your sexy and savory hostess, take the Cal Golden Bears college basketball tonight in the Pac-12 matchup. Dionne, can you take us out of here, please?
Yeah, make sure that you follow all of these amazing cappers from the First Family Show on Twitter, along with myself and Joe. And don't forget to tune into all of Sports Memo TV shows for some great betting insights and a ton of free winners. And on behalf of Sports Memo, Wager Talk, Ross, Rocky, Chris, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.